Hey, so like around New Year's time or just in general throughout the year, you're unhappy with parts of your life, or it feels like you're unhappy with all of your life, but you don't really know exactly what to do or where to start. So if that's you, this video is for you. I'm going to take you through an exercise that I love to do that kind of looks at all the most important areas of your life. It helps you evaluate how everything's going, what you want it to be like, and take those first steps to make a plan to actually get there. So this is one of my favorite exercises to do. I love to do it, at the beginning of the year and every quarter. And also on consultations I do with clients, we go through this exercise and it's super helpful in just kind of looking at the big picture of your life. Sometimes we're just so focused on the day to day, we don't take a step back and look at that big picture stuff. So I'm going to share with you this image. All right. So this is the wheel of mom wellness. If you're a dad, it can be parent wellness. It's like human wellness, really, right? Okay. And so basically what this exercise talks about is, you think about, you're in a car trying to get to where you want to go in life. All right. And your car has wheels, these four wheels. And on every wheel, it's made up of these most important areas of your life. And if one or two or some of these areas are really flat or you're really struggling in them, they're really far away from how you want your life to be, it's going to make your wheel or your tire flat. And your car is not going to run very efficiently. And you're not going to end up with the life that you are meant to have, that you want to have. And so some of these most important areas are parenting, vocational, if you stay at home, if you work, whatever your kind of calling is, the work that you do in life, paid or not. Intellectual, how you're challenged intellectually, your relationship with your marriage, your partner, co-parenting. That's the next one. The next one is financial. So just how, in control you feel of your finances, your satisfaction with your finances. Social, how are your social relationships? Is that where you want it to be? Physical health. I put mental health in this as well. So, your energy level, your mood, all of that stuff. And then spiritual, your spiritual life, is that what you want it to be? And so a lot of people come to me with this parenting one because, their kids are out of control and they don't know what to do and they're having a really hard time and they're trying all the things and then they're beating themselves up when it's not going the way that they think it should. But actually on the consultations with clients, we go through not all of these areas for the sake of time, but we go through some of the main areas of these areas and talk about how it's going in all of them. Because how we do one thing is how we do everything. And so we look for patterns because, we're not like just a mom and then over here we're a wife and then over here we're a friend or a daughter, right? We're one person who's trying to do all of those things. So once you have kind of these areas, what you want to do is rate each one on a scale of 1 to 10 with your satisfaction with each area. And you want to just kind of write down the very first number that comes to mind. Don't like overthink it, just like first number. A lot of people give a range, like, 5 to 6 or something. I'll put 5.5, right? Like just pick a number of how you would rate that each area. And then go back through and think about why you think that your brain gave you that number. What makes it a 5 or an 8 or a 10 or a 2? And then think about what a 10 would look like in that area. So for parenting, what would your 10 be? For vocational, what would your life look like for you to score that a 10? And when we talk about giving anything a 10, um, we it's not that it's perfect, right? We are rating it on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the life that you really want. This is exactly what you want. 1 being your life is the opposite of how you want your life to be. And so some people will confuse that 10 with like perfection, right? It's not perfect. It will never be perfect. So I can't give anything a 10. And if your brain's doing that, that's normal, but try to stay back from that. Let's think of a 10 as just kind of being what you want your life to look like in each of these areas. And then sometimes our 10s are like the horizon. Life is never perfect. We're never trying to make anything perfect. We can't be perfect. But 10 is kind of like the horizon. So like if you're looking at where you want your life to be, the 10 is kind of like as far as you can see, right? That horizon line, you can't really see past that. But it just seems like that's the best, right? The crazy thing is when I am working with my clients on these areas, their 10 from 6 months ago, when I usually redo it with my clients, is now they've like achieved that, but now the horizon always moves, right? When you walk towards the horizon, it keeps moving back, right? Because the more you get closer to the life you want, the more potential you see. Things that you didn't even know were possible before, because you can only see at your horizon. So if 10 to you means like perfect and unachievable, try to let that go and just try to be like, what would I want this to look like? And if you get stuck on the 10, then put a 9 and that's fine. What would a 9 look like if that helps your brain? If 10 is like equal to perfection. But once you go through all of these areas and you kind of really figure out what a 10 would look like in all of these areas, like that's your plan. Like that's the life that you want. Um, that is like your dream, your vision, your hope for your life. And that's so valuable to spend time just thinking about what that is, right? And sometimes like if you're looking at all of those areas, it seems like too much and you're overwhelmed. You're like, okay, you don't want to then like do nothing because you're overwhelmed by it. But maybe pick one or two or of the most important areas to you, right? Of all of those areas, which ones maybe are you scoring the lowest or are just most important to you right now at the phase of life you're in right now? And how could you take steps towards that 10 in that one or two areas? And so that's what I help my clients do is we identify those areas and then we work on in our coaching how to get you closer and closer to all of those 10s every week. And we work usually focus on parenting, but we help with all of the things because again, we're a whole person and how we do one thing often is how we do everything. So my clients maybe will focus on parenting with me, but as a byproduct, see progress in all areas of their life becoming more and more what they want it to actually be. And then continue dreaming about what, that next level would be. So this is a great exercise for you to do on your own. I would love to do it with you. It's a free consultation where I walk you through this exercise and I help you come up with a plan. We kind of figure out why you haven't already achieved those 10s in your life and what is the best plan to help you get all of those 10s in your life. And I would love to book that consultation with you. You can just reach out to me, email me, whatever. Tell me some good days and times for you for a 90-minute Zoom call, and I will make one of those times work and we'll get that booked. And yeah, I would love to walk you through that process. Thanks.